3, 2.
Welcome back to Cabomil News and Community Update in English with Korey Riggs and Claudia Velo. You're listening to us on 96.3 FM. And you know that we are brought to you by Ronnie Vault Real Estates. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, Cabomil News, you know that there's a lot of bonus material with arena and the water. And so go check that out on Facebook Live and get more information. We always have bonus material, Claudia. Isn't that exciting?
Absolutely. It's the best way to find out more about what happens behind the scenes when we're not on air in Cabomil 96.3 FM. Go to our Facebook page, Cabomil News. And also, we're going to be posting a lot of the information that we shared at the beginning of the show on that Facebook page right there under the podcast for the Sunday show. So check it out. We have some really cool information regarding summer solstice, alkalinized water, all different kinds of water. And then we're going to be having information about the Baja Summer Jam, which is happening June 25. And it's bringing great music to Los Cabos. And that is why today we are super happy to have here with us a true reggae star. Yay. I think it's the first time we've had a reggae start in our show.
It is.
Absolutely. Welcome. Let's welcome Pato Banton. His original name was Patrick, and then it became Pato. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us. I know that you had a busy schedule and we had to juggle some timing here. And so thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thank you, Claudia. Very, very nice to be here with you guys.
Awesome. Pato, you're going to be here in Los Cabos next week for the Baja Summer Jam. It's going to be a fun concert, a fun event. Of course, you're the headliner. And tell us all about your music. You are so popular in so many places. We were giving away free tickets for the concert, and we had several people call like, oh my God, we have to get Pato. Go Pato, go Pato. Tell us about your fame. Tell us what is that?
Well, it's kind of interesting because I never really intended to be a reggae star. You know, I grew up, you know, my stepdad was a DJ from Jamaica. And so he used to import all of the Jamaican music. And our house was the community party house.
Wow.
So I started helping him at the age of 8 with his weekend parties. And I was a security at the age of 8.
So really tight security, yeah, for this party.
I used to open and close the door all night. That was my job, even in the winter. You know, I'd open the door, get the cold chill, close the door quickly. I was born with the name Patrick, but in Jamaica, they have a small night owl that comes out like at 2 a.m. in the morning, and you can hear it going, Patu, Patu, Patu. And because I was up late at such a young age, they said, this guy's pretty wise and he's up late. And he's small. So we're going to call him a Patu.
Oh, cool. I like that. So I thought it had to do with the duck. So no, I'm glad it's not.
It's still a bird. It's still a bird. But in Jamaica, it's pronounced Patu.
Patu. Oh, cool.
Yeah. But in England, they say Pato.
Ah.
You know? So it got translated. And then, so I grew up around his sound system. And then by the time I was about 11, 12, I started DJing on his sound system. I just couldn't wait to get on the controls and put the needle on the record and turn up the bass and mess with the treble and put on the reverb and go on the microphone and say, greetings, everyone, welcome, you know? And so, and at first I was just copying the things that the Jamaicans said. And then eventually, you know, I won a poetry contest at school. And it was in high school, and I didn't attend school that much because I was so busy involved in the late night parties. I couldn't relate. There was a
Right.
big disconnect, you know,
Yeah.
because at the late night parties, all I heard, one of the things that was talked about a lot by the adults when I was standing at the door was money and earning money and paying bills and dealing with this and dealing with that. And then when I went to school, they're teaching me about algebra. And I'm like, hold on. I've never heard anybody mention this word. What does this word, what does algebra have to do with me in the real world? And I realize now that I've never used algebra in my entire life, you know. And then I went to the history class. And they're telling me about these great men. And I'm saying to myself, if they are great men, they must have done some great service for humanity. They must have been very gentle and kind and loving. And then when they started teaching me about these great men, they were generals that had killed thousands of people, you know, and were planning to kill more people. You know, all these great men were all war-minded people. And I just thought to myself, well, if I was a great man in my community, I'd be in jail. You know, for killing one person, I'd be in jail. So I kind of lost that interest in certain aspects of school. But the one thing that kept me coming back to school was English and maths. You know, I loved the English language. I loved to write, you know, and they had a poetry contest for the whole school one year. And I entered the contest at the age of about 14. And then the next thing I know, I get a message saying, you won the contest out of the whole school. And I was like, wow. And my English teacher came and sat me down and says, you know something, you've got great potential. You know, if you would put your mind to it, you know, if you would get focused on your education, you could do great things. And I said, thank you. And I didn't go back to school after that. I decided to educate myself.
Well, you focused on your education. You focused on what was working,
on the things I wanted to learn, you know. And at that same time, when she told me that, the music was changing in Jamaica from rock steady, blue beat, ska to reggae. And reggae music had a message, a spiritual message, a socially conscious message, a spiritual message, and a very inspiring message about my history, because these were singers from Jamaica for the first time singing about slavery and how they ended up in Jamaica. And I was blown away. I never heard that in school. I never heard that from my parents. I never heard that from the hundreds of adults that came through our door and stood beside me talking for hours on end. No one spoke about any of these subjects. So all of a sudden, I'm a DJ at the age of 14, 15, playing music that is actually educating me. And that inspired me to want to become a musician and use my talent with poetry into songwriting. And as soon as I did that, I became the #1 MC artist in my city. 7 years in a row, I won the talent competition for my city.
Awesome.
And then straight from that, I was in the recording studio with the English Beat, who were a massive band in the UK. Then I was in the studio with UB40.
Oh, then wow. UB40. Wow.
Yeah.
That's high school.
I recorded 3 singles with them. Wow. And then I was in London signing record deals with Virgin Records, EMI Records, Fashion Records, Mad Professor Records. And then the next thing I know, I'm in a recording studio with Sting.
Sting.
And
Wow.
then after that, I'm on tour around the world with Peter Gabriel.
Wow.
You know? And I'm like, wow. And all this time, I've never decided yet what I want to do for my career.
When you grow up.
When I grow up,
Awesome.
Music is just my hobby. And I was just doing what I loved. And it ended up propelling me into world fame. You know, next thing I know, I'm in Singapore, Malaysia, South Africa, you know, Australia, America. I had #1 hits all over South America, Venezuela. I went to Venezuela, I had 100,000 fans waiting for me. I went to Peru. I had the army escort me to my show. And then the army lined the front of the stage at a TV show I did outside of the TV station. Wow. And as soon as I started singing Go Pato, the fans ran over the army. And then they started running to me. The security grabbed me, ran me to the bus, drove off. People are hanging on the bus.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. So
that's crazy.
I've experienced a lot of beautiful, fun, crazy things.
That's great.
I still haven't decided what I want to do for my career. I'm still just having fun.
Keep having fun. And you're coming to Cabo, and
yes.
You're going to be playing in a lovely venue, and people are going to have an opportunity to be up close and personal with you. And this is because you happen to marry a guy in Jamaica.
All right, so you heard about that.
I heard about Damien. So tell us about that.
This is very, very strange. Actually, the venue that I'm playing at, I think is called Metate.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I said Matate, but it's Metate.
Metate, nice.
That's right, Matate. We like Matate.
So anyway, Damien contacted me and said, "Hi, Pato, I'm a big fan, and I'm doing a entrepreneur conference in Jamaica, and I'd like to invite you to be the talent for this event." He couldn't bring my whole band, so I brought my laptop, and I've got a lot of my songs on playback on my laptop. So me and my wife went, and my wife is also a singer and a keyboard player. So we went over there to do the entertainment for them. And on the last day, they were going out on a catamaran on the water for the end of conference celebration. And he came up to me and says, "You're an ordained minister, right?" And I said, "Yes." He says, "Could you marry me and my wife today in Jamaica?" I'm like, "Yeah, my license is international. I could do it for you." He goes, "That would be awesome." He hasn't even told his wife.
There you go.
He hasn't told his wife. So after I said yes, he went and broke the news to his wife, and she was like, oh my God, I've only got my swimsuit." She was not ready for it at all. So as we're walking, like we're 100 yards from getting on the catamaran, there was this small shop, like a snack shop, like where you just grab some stuff before you go on the catamaran. And in the window was a white dress.
No.
A beautiful white dress. My wife spotted it. And she ran up to Damien and she says, "Damien, I need your credit card." He goes, "What's going on?" He says, "We found a wedding dress." So they took the card, went and bought the dress, came on the catamaran, and she looked absolutely beautiful. You would have imagined that she had planned her dress and everything.
Wow. And
everybody was just so happy. And, I think Damien's family wasn't very happy, or her family, when they found out they got married in Jamaica. But they made it back up when they got back to the USA. But it was a very, very, spontaneous
Wow.
experience. And that's how
Wow.
Damien is, if he gets an inspiration to do something,
He does it.
can't stop him. He just does it.
And obviously meant to be. I mean, they're a lovely couple. They're happily married. And
Long
she
time,
found the
yeah.
perfect dress on the way to the wedding. I mean,
That's right.
it doesn't
Meant
get
to
better
be.
than that. Meant to
Meant
be.
to be. Meant to be. That's what I thought at the time. It's like, wow, how many places. And not only did we see a dress, and it was a white dress, it fit her
I mean,
perfectly.
No alterations needed. Wow.
None. So so that was a really, really good time. Really, really
Wow.
good time. And I got to, and while we were there, I got to perform with some of the legends, in
Wow.
Jamaica. It was a great, great gathering.
Awesome. Awesome. And so June 25, Baja Summer Jam. Tickets are on sale online at bajasummerjam.com. Also at Santa Carmela Market. You can go there and get your tickets. You will be able to see Pato Banton play live and play wonderful reggae music. Tell us a little bit about, I mean, we know the background and how you connected with reggae. Tell us a little bit about your inspiration as a poetry writer and songwriter. Where does your inspiration come from for your music?
Most of my inspiration comes from real life experiences. What's happening in the world, what's happening in my personal life, and in my circle, So and I guess that's how it started, being inspired by the Jamaican artists, wanting to know about my roots, and then going on a search for my roots and sharing through my music what I found. And then after finding my physical roots and knowing that I came from West Africa, was taken to Jamaica, and then my parents migrated from Jamaica to the UK for work opportunities, and that my generation was the first generation of Black kids born in the UK. So we faced all of the challenges of a race trying to integrate into a new society as aliens. So that was my first source of inspiration. Then after I knew about my physical roots, I wanted to know about my spiritual roots. Where did I come from spiritually? And where am I going to? And so it started a 15-year spiritual search for me. And during that 15-year spiritual search, my music became spiritual. The different things I would find in the different philosophies and belief systems, I would kind of incorporate them with my beliefs and take the best from every belief system. And then I came across this book called the Urantia book. And when I found this book, it just blew my mind. And I have been studying and teaching the Urantia book now for maybe 30 years. And so that has had a big influence on my music. But if I was to summarize my music, my music has been classified by most of my fans as positive reggae music. And they call me Mr. Positivity, because no matter what the crisis is in the world or in people's lives, I always look at the positive side. I always maintain hope and the vision that things can be better, and that we can make things better when we choose to come together and make things better. And regardless of what things look like, human progress has always been slow but sure. And even in my short lifetime, I've seen my country, England, transform from a totally monotone, racist environment to a melting pot of culture. It's so blended in England now that there's no room for racism because you can't tell who's what race.
Mhm.
Everybody's
Mhm.
brown, you know.
To some degree,
got-
yes.
You've got white looking people with curly hair, black people with shiny eyes, shiny people with green eyes, Indian people with blue eyes. It's like so blended. And to me, it's beautiful, you know, and the Urantia book says that is the way to an age of light and life when the human race becomes so blended that everybody has no choice but to recognize, hey, we're all one family, you know. And then the next goal is to have one language, one currency, you know, and to just bring all of these things that separate the nations together so that eventually we have one world citizenship where you don't need a passport. You know, all you need is your ID card and you can travel anywhere in the world and take the same money that you've got and spend it anywhere in the world, you know. So we're a long way from that, but I remain hopeful, you know, and for me, the most important message for me in my music at this moment in my life is peace and love.
Yeah.
You know, and there's always room for some fun.
Exactly. Let's have fun. Pato, we look forward to seeing you June 25 here in Los Cabos, Baja Summer Jam. This summer jam is going to benefit two really cool associations that are helping our community to solve issues with stray animals and with street animal awareness. They are Pet Los Cabos and Dog Prana. People, go and get your tickets now. www.bajasummerjam.com. Tickets are on sale. You'll get to see Pato Banton playing here in Los Cabos. We're also going to have Stamina and the Mexican Weirdos, two really cool bands from La Paz. They play really, really cool music, surf rock and reggae, of course. And Pato, thank you so much for your time and for sharing with us your experience, your trajectory, and we look forward to meeting you soon here in Los Cabos.
No, and I did, Pato. You just drip with optimism. So thank you so much. What a great message to give to our audience. And I just looked up the book, the Urantia book, Urantia.
Yes, go Urantia.
And I can't wait to research more. So I'm looking forward to that. So thank you for.
And if you have any questions, just contact me, Korey. I'd love to share with you.
Absolutely, we will. Pato, thank you so much for.
Thank you.
We can't wait to
Claudia,
see you.
Thank you, Korey. Thank you.
Looking forward.
To all the fans out there tuning in, please come out. I'm bringing my band, the Now Generation Band, and you're going to get an awesome, awesome show. And you're going to leave with a positive vibration.
That's what it's all about. Thank you so much, Pato. Take care.
Have a great rest of your day, Pato.
All right. Bye.
So Claudia, what a great guy. Oh my gosh.
Isn't he amazing? He's amazing. I mean, UB40, Sting, world fame, and he's so cool.
Oh my gosh. So positive and just, it's so interesting. I can't wait. Have you read this book that
I have not. About? I have not. I'm looking forward to reading about it and reading it and finding out more about it. Yes.
Oh, anyway, well, very good. Well, we have a few minutes left, Claudia. Anything else we need to touch on?
Non-alkaline water being consumed.
Yeah,
here.
that is acidic.
Claudia. I know it's bad for me, but you know what? It's the bubbles. To me,
it's better than wine.
It's
better than, or alcohol. Not better. Tasting better.
Let's talk organic wines. It's a whole new world. Organic and natural wines, whole new world. No sulfites. They're amazing. Really amazing.
I do have to say, when I have gone to Europe, if I'm in Spain or Italy, for some reason, I can drink a bunch of wine and I don't feel bad. Yeah. There's a big difference.
Yeah. And it's about the sulfites. It really makes a big difference. You don't get the headaches. you don't dehydrate as much. And
Mhm.
I absolutely agree with Arena regarding the importance of staying hydrated. And alkaline, everything is conducive to better health, alkalized as well. So yeah, no, great. Let's make sure you go to Facebook page Cabomil News and check out today's podcast and get some of the information on Kangen Water, Arena, what she's doing, and about the Baja Summer Jam, the ATP that's coming, and all the fun things that are going to be happening next week. Remember, June 21st is the summer solstice, and you know, it's like the new year again. We can start over.
There's so much to do, and there's so much you learn from listening to Cabomil News and Community Update in English. And next week, tune in again at 6 p.m. on Sunday evenings for another great edition of the program, brought to you by Ronneval Real Estate. Claudia, great show, and we will see you next week. Everybody stay safe out there. Slow down on the highways.
Drive carefully, and don't use your cell phone. And we're going to leave you with a little bit of reggae music to kind of like round up the show.
Have a good one, everyone.
Take care.